Hi there. Thank you for the introduction and hello to everybody that's joining us today. As they mentioned, my name is Mark Chavez. I'm the outreach coordinator with United Way of El Paso County. United Way is a nonprofit here in El Paso. We're actually a global nonprofit as well. We have uh, agencies all around the world. The one here in El Paso, we have a lot of great programs that we offer for members of the community to no cost to the community. And today I want to be talking about one of our specific programs. It's called our Center for Resiliency. And I'll speak a little bit in the presentation about it, but we've had a long running relationship with EPCC, specifically with the Student Parent Resource Center. But I'll explain a little bit more about that once we get into the presentation. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were going to share um, someone was going to share their screen with my presentation.
Yes, sir. It's on the screen now. Do you not see it?
No, man, let me check
Oh, okay.
here.
Go ahead and refresh your browser. Some of the issues in Blackboard are fixed by just simply refreshing the screen. So you'll
Understood.
disconnect for a second when you refresh, but when you come back, we can start up again.
Okay, apologies for the interruption, but I will be right back.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. We're just waiting for him to join on back, and then we'll get started with the presentation. Hi, Mr. Mark. Welcome back. Are you able to see the presentation now?
Yes, ma'am, I am. That
All
that did the
right.
trick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All
Um,
yours.
Perfect. All right, if we wouldn't mind going to the next slide. All right. So the mission for the Center for Resiliency is to support individuals and families affected by trauma and financial hardship by providing culturally grounded care, comprehensive navigation services, and strong community partnerships that promote healing, empowerment, and long-term resilience. If we can go ahead and go to the next one. The vision for the CFR is to create a resilient, connected community where every individual and family has the support, resources, and opportunities to heal from trauma, overcome financial hardship, and thrive with dignity. We can go ahead and go. There you go. Perfect. Population served. So, as I mentioned earlier, we service residents of El Paso County who are recovering from trauma relating to the August 3rd mass casualty incident and/or experiencing financial hardship or life-changing events that threaten their ability to meet basic needs. So, when the Center for Resiliency was initially created, as it states here, it was created after the August 3rd mass casualty incident that happened at the Walmart here in El Paso. And it was meant to service individuals affected by the residual trauma from that event, but of course, as time has progressed since that event, the Center for Resiliency has started gearing its services more towards all kinds of trauma that the community might be facing. Like it mentions at the end there, if they're experiencing financial hardship or life-changing events that threaten their ability to meet basic needs, and that'll make a little bit more sense when I talk a little bit about the services that we offer. So if we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So understanding trauma, we did some statistics here to show the real impact that occurs in El Paso. Mental health conditions can develop after exposure to distressing or life-threatening events. Approximately 70% of adults experience at least one traumatic event in their life, and an estimated 5.6% develop PTSD, a rate nearly 5 times higher in El Paso County, yet only 24% receive treatment. I mean, we all know how difficult it is sometimes to talk about mental health. It's fortunately getting a little bit easier, but especially with cultural factors, it's difficult to get the help that we need, especially for facing with these kind of issues like PTSD. Common symptoms include intrusive memories, avoidance, hypervigilance, and emotional numbing. But healing is supported through connection, self-awareness, emotional regulation, and finding meaning. Community challenges, so some more specific data pertinent to El Paso. Families in El Paso face overlapping challenges that affect recovery. Financial instability, housing insecurity, and food scarcity. Transportation and childcare barriers, they limit access to services. 18.9% of individuals lack a high school diploma, and only 26% have a bachelor's degree. And then, of course, cross border trauma and stigma towards mental health support, like I mentioned earlier, being a cultural issue. But of course, cross border trauma kind of bleeds into all these issues as well, especially if it's issues like transportation and childcare. So the Center for Resiliency exists to be able to help with those issues and try and serve as an inroad to getting the proper help that some individuals might need. So our impact, talking a little bit about the services that the CFR provides specifically for the community. We have ground level partnerships. We coordinate with the Health and Human Services, food banks, and credit unions. Um, I'll explain a little bit once we go into like the roles of the people of the staff that we have at the Center for Resiliency. But we have positions that are called resiliency navigators, and they are coordinated with a lot of different agencies across all of El Paso. So that way, if we're not able to help individuals with the services that we offer directly, our resiliency navigators can try and connect these individuals that are coming to us with another organization that might be able to help them out. And that exists with partnerships like the food bank or the credit unions. Building pathways to stability, uh, benefit enrollment, and financial counseling. If our resiliency navigators can't handle that directly, like I said, they'll connect individuals with programs that can. Uh, and then one of the other services that we have is rental assistance for those facing housing insecurity issues. And that kind of falls under that financial counseling umbrella. We also promote connection. We have monthly peer support group session called Parent Cafes. Um, don't let the name fool you. They're not just for parents only. Some of the lessons can be applied to those with families, but they are just overall good lessons to learn to become more emotionally complex, kind of be a little bit more vulnerable in a comfortable setting. They're usually run by our staff, and it's really like a space that we provide for people to express themselves and kind of be in touch with a part of themselves that maybe they're not able to access on a daily basis, and especially with people around them who are kind of in a like-minded state. And then we also offer healing sessions. So uh, every month, well, every week actually, and it's on an alternating basis every Saturday, we offer sound baths and yogas. Then they're open to all members of the public at no extra cost. They're hosted at our office on Delta by the Youth County Detention Facility. And they're great ways to get your foot into the door if you're really interested in trying out non-therapeutic alternative therapy services outside of sitting down with a traditional counselor. It's a great way to kind of de-stress, take some time back for yourself, and really explore something different to begin your healing journey. Whether you're directly affected by trauma or you just have things going on in your life that you need some time for yourself to decompress, they're a great way to kind of explore that. I've tried them out myself. Uh, they are really something else very relaxing, especially after a busy work week. It's a great way to kind of, like I said, take time back for yourself and decompress a little bit. And then sustaining hope, the last point there. We combine navigation, providing basic needs, and trauma support. And all of those services, like I outlined in the previous points before, combined together to show our impact and what we try and provide for the community. So structuring. So this is a layout of the staff that exists at the Center for Resiliency. And like I said previously at the beginning of the presentation, the CFR exists as a program within United Way. So there's a higher structure that goes on, but this is just pertinent to the staff that we have at the CFR. So we have our Senior Director of Community Resiliency, who is our lead boss, who oversees everything that has to do with the CFR. And then directly under him, we have our Center for Resiliency Manager. Um, the CFR works, since we're a nonprofit, United Way, we operate through grants. There's two grants specifically that we operate under, our HomeARP and our VOCA grant. The HomeARP deals specifically with like the housing assistance, and the VOCA deals more with the trauma-related services, the therapeutic services more specifically. So everyone's kind of split up a little bit in what their responsibilities are regarding to the or pertinent to the different grants. So going from our Center for Resiliency Manager, we have to the left there our resource specialists, one dedicated specifically to HomeARP, one dedicated specifically to VOCA, and then On the right there, we have our compliance specialist who is basically like the enforcer for when we're getting participants involved with our services. Um, Jesus does a great job. He checks all of their documentation, all of their information to see if it aligns and see if they qualify for the services that we offer. That's specifically pertinent to like the rental assistance that we offer. And then there's me right underneath him, who kind of floats in there. I'm the outreach coordinator, so I work half with half under with the CFR, and then another half with another one of the programs that we have at United Way. And then all underneath there, even though they're the last tier, they're not lesser. They do a lot of the heavy lifting for the CFR. Those are all of our resiliency navigators, and they have different dedications to the services that we offer as well. So, Day of Remembrance. So, since the Center for Resiliency was created after the August 3rd mass casualty incident, a way we try and honor the victims lost at that event, we run the Day of Remembrance every year on August 3rd, and it's in partnership with El Paso County. And it's held at the Scott at the Healing Gardens, that wonderful structure that they assembled in honor of the August 3rd victims. It's a massive effort, not only on the Center for Resiliency's part, but also for United Way. We gather uh, uh, loads of volunteers and members of the community to come help us design and light luminarias so we can symbolize the remembrance and unity. And we partner with city officials as well to read the victims' names that were lost during the mass casualty incident. Like it says there, the massive amount of volunteers that we have come and support the wellness sessions and the lighting ceremony. Wellness sessions we offer there, like I had mentioned about the sound baths and the yogas, we offer them on the scene actually for the Day of Remembrance, for those that either were involved with the event directly that are you know coming to remember the anniversary, or just individuals because it is just a very heavy day. It was unfortunate and it comes with a lot of remembering loss and a lot of sadness. So we try and offer the services that we traditionally have so they could be on site there, or available throughout the day so that way people can use them to kind of have a little bit of a emotional catharsis, and work through maybe some of the stuff that they might be experiencing. So resiliency navigation, one of the services we offer, we develop personalized care plans that promote stability and empower participants through coordinated access to community resources, referrals, and advocacy services. The different components that we have, whether it be it's specifically dealing with like the rental assistance, if a participant unfortunately doesn't like meet the guidelines that we have to qualify for those services, our resiliency navigators then step in. The resource specialists usually handle directly with the participants, and if they see that they don't qualify, they pass them over to the resiliency navigators, and they try and help and point these individuals into a direction where help might be possible. It's not always a guarantee, but we try our best to service the community and ensure that nobody kind of goes home without getting some sort of assistance or at least getting a referral to another organization that could possibly help them. So homeless prevention and basic needs assistance. We support participants experiencing financial hardship by helping them meet essential needs such as housing stability, utility access, and food security. Assistance may be provided directly or through referrals to trusted community services. So this is really compounding a lot of the information that I was kind of relating to earlier. Excuse me. We have the housing stability component, where we offer the part-time rental assistance, um, also coordination with the different agencies in the community that help out with utility access. I can actually share a story one of our resiliency navigators shared with me not too long ago. There was an older gentleman who was disabled, and he reached out to the Center for Resiliency for assistance because apparently at his house there was a water leak that he did not know about, and it raised his water bill exponentially. So he came to us for assistance. Um, we did what we could. We reached out to El Paso Water, who has a program actually called Agua Cares. They provide assistance for issues specifically like this, and they try and have like sustainable ways that people can pay their bills if they're having issues. So we referred him to them, and he was not able to actually make the meetings to talk about his issue specifically. So our resiliency navigator went on behalf of him, advocated for him, vouched for him, told them what he was going through, and they were able to not only fix the water leak but lower his water rate to a sustainable level that he would be able to pay. So that's what we offer when it comes to the utility access and food security, like the points mentioned previously about participations with the food bank and different agencies that will be able to help those maybe facing food insecurity. We try and secure them with the services that we're partnered with. Mental health. So providing trauma-informed healing sessions that support mental wellness through culturally responsive practices. Participants can access both traditional and non-traditional therapeutic options provided by in-house professionals or through referrals to trusted community agencies. So I think if we go to the next slide, I think we have the partners that we're listed with. Yes, okay, perfect. So like it mentioned in the previous slide, all the services that we offer regarding therapeutic services are culturally informed. So these aren't just random organizations that we're partnered with that we just decided, oh, this would be cool, maybe we could do this. These are actual organizations that we've gotten feedback from the community that they relay that it worked for them. So we listen to what people have to say, and if they give us a suggestion and say, "Hey, you guys should look into this, what this organization has to offer regarding therapeutic services," we check them out, and if we see that there's a success rate and that it could be, something that the wider community could find use out of, we choose to partner with them, and we put that on a larger scale, so that way the community can utilize it as well. So some of the evidence-based interventions that we offer through the contracted services, we have a partnership with Sun City Music Therapy. They provide trauma-informed individual and group music therapy sessions. It's located at like a studio. I'm blanking on the specific location, but it's a studio and they have a bunch of instruments that not only individuals but families can go to as well. And music is a catharsis. You can play with the instruments and kind of take your mind off things and work through things you might be going through the experimentation with the music. There's also a component where an instructor will ask you to bring a song lyric that means a lot to you, and you guys will analyze it and figure out why it means so much to you, why it's important to you. So not only working through a therapeutic way with the actual sound of the music, but the writing and maybe some of the composition of the music as well. So that's a great service. It's very popular. That's actually one of our newer ones. We've gotten a few referrals so far, and we've had nothing but great feedback on that one. So we've been very, very happy with that one. We also partnered with Creative Kids. They deliver movement-based healing through monthly family and individual sessions that support trauma recovery. So if I'm not mistaken, they have also like art bags that a family can receive from us, and it includes paint and markers to serve as that same as like the music, a therapeutic service through the arts. So kids sometimes are able to more easily express their emotions or things they might be going through an artistic lens. So Creative Kids offers that service for them. Also, we partner with Emergence Health Network that they offer trauma-focused individual and group counseling. So this is more of that traditional therapeutic service, stuff like I said before, where you sit down with a counselor, talk about things that you might be going through more directly instead of in a non-traditional way, like with the music or the art. And then if we can go to the next slide. Also a partnership with Family Services of El Paso. Same, almost like Emergence Health, they provide individualized counseling services to support trauma recovery. Our partnership with the YWCA, so this one is actually contingent that you have utilized one of the other services that we offer. Once you have, you can come to us and say, hey, I'd like to also utilize the YWCA services. What we do is we give you a referral for them. and you're able to access monthly family memberships and utilize all the facilities and services that they have. Yes, um, thank you, Ms. Patricia. Yes, Paso Health does have great services as well. Um, and apologies, I didn't mention earlier, but if anybody has any questions during the presentation, I'll leave some time at the end as well. But feel free to pop it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer as we're going. But yes, the services that we offer through YWCA to allow kind of more of that movement-based and healing, that therapeutic service, that one's great as well. And then instruments of healing, that's the one that we partner with that offers the like yogas and sound baths, and they provide trauma-informed yoga sound bath sessions through a mix of in-person and online offerings that serve individuals in a group healing setting. For those not familiar with sound bath sessions, because we get a lot of questions about that one, that's the service with like someone like the instructor will sit down with like a bowl, and they'll have like some instrument of some kind, and they'll kind of like ring around the bowl, and it makes a kind of like humming noise. So it's a lot of sound based. I mean, hence the name sound bath. Sound based instruments and tools like wind chimes that kind of serve as like a nice calming presence, and it gets you in a very meditative state. And those are evidence based interventions. Additional partnerships. Because of our inception after the August 3rd mass casualty incident, we have a close partnership with the National Center for Mass Violence. We participate in quarterly town halls, and we coordinate with nationwide resiliency directors to expand community resources. They provide us statistics. Some of the stats that I provided earlier in the presentation, those actually came from the National Center for Mass Violence, stuff pertinent to El Paso and how the residual effects of the incident that happened on August 3rd continue to affect El Pasoans. That data helps us tailor the needs and tailor the services that we have, so we can better try and combat, the trauma, residual trauma that might be coming from that incident. We also partner with El Paso Helps that help us offer virtual intake for clients requesting the center services. Like I mentioned with the story with the older gentleman that we helped with his water bill, sometimes individuals may not be able to meet us in person. So through our partnership with El Paso Helps, we're able to do virtual intake for clients through they call a number, or they can meet with us virtually, and we do the intake or take their information from there and see how we can help them. So it's more convenient for them. And then our most favorite partnership, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the presence of them here, I truly mean this. EPCC, we have on-site presence at all EPCC campuses in collaboration with the Student Parent Resource Center to assist students in our issue areas. And it is really is a great partnership. All of the individuals that we have across all campuses at the Student Parent Resource Centers are always of such great help. They offer so many great services, and whenever we need assistance with something, they are always very good at responding. And it's another part of the component, like with the El Paso Helps, we want to ensure that we're in kind of like middle spaces in the community, because since our location is at Escate, sometimes it might be too far to reach for some individuals. We know that if we have a presence in a different area that might be closer to some individuals, it's easier for them to go to us. So the presence at the EPCC campuses is not only for students that are interested in our services, but it's also for individuals that are closer to those campuses to come and inquire about our services as well. Peer support groups, so to promote healing and long-term resilience for individuals and families impacted by trauma and financial hardship through culturally responsive support, coordinated services, and community collaborations, such as our aforementioned monthly parent cafes. Um, we host them every month, and they're on different topics. Usually the content is the same, but it's just that way we have consistent services and lessons that we offer for newcomers that might be appearing at the parent cafes. But it's almost kind of like a group therapy without, of course, having to share too much personal information or share experiences that you might be, personal experience you might have. It's just a way to kind of I guess, subtly work through things you might be going through with a larger group who is there for the same purpose. And like we mentioned before, it's a culturally responsive form of support. It's proven with feedback that we've gotten from the community before. Community workshops as well. We offer educational opportunities that help individuals and families build essential life skills, including financial stability, nutrition, parenting, mental health awareness, and understanding civil rights. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the community partnerships that we have through our resource specialists and resiliency navigators. We try and build plans and help individuals take action to meet their issues, meet their needs, and reach points of success. That way, they're on a more stable path forward. And this exists, like I said, with our different partnerships that we have throughout the community. And then community presentations. I think I'm doing a great example for this slide by practicing what I preach. That's what I'm doing right now. Presentations tailored to create awareness about mental health, healthy living, community resources, and the importance of navigation services. So our cross partnership with organizations not only feeds into the resources that we can offer for the individuals, but it's also for broadening the reach and letting more people know that what we have is out there in the community available for them. So it consists of presentations like this one with EPCC. We've done ones previously with the District Attorney's Office, with the Recovery Alliance. We're doing one coming up soon with EP Human Services. So it's really where we see that there's similarities in the individuals that we serve and the individuals that another agency might serve. That's where we try and hit hardest with the presentations. So that way, those similar groups know the services that they have out there. And we can all these organizations can feed into each other and help as many people as possible. Um, and like this presentation with EPCC, individuals, if you might not be facing issues with like housing stability, or need stuff for like utility assistance or food insecurity. The therapeutic services are also just a great way to get your foot into the door. Um, the sound baths and yoga are open to all members of the public. They're free. You can come to them. The phone numbers are going to be at the end of the presentation for you to inquire about the services. But that's a great way to, like I said, just take some time back for yourself, see what other free resources that we have. And even if you don't decide to utilize them later on in life, or sometimes you might need them, it's just a great way to take advantage of something that's available for you in El Paso. And there are the phone numbers that I mentioned. So that number, the first one, takes if you call it, it's specifically for issues related to trauma recovery. So if you want to inquire about the sound baths, the yoga, or any of the contracted therapeutic services that I mentioned there, you're more than welcome to call that number. We're open 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, and we can try and see how we can get you involved in those services. Or if you or someone has issues with housing security, financial stability, food insecurity, call that number at the bottom. We help with people in unhoused situations, and you can inquire about those services as well. Anything that you might be interested in, we will try and help you out and see how we can get you connected. But that was the end of my presentation. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. Or if you want to know a little bit more information about some of the things I talked about, I'm all ears.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chavez. So in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, I'll go ahead and I'll leave it open so that way you guys can either turn on your mic or you can use the chat box by clicking on the little purple bubble on the bottom right and then typing in your question or comment there. But for now, we would like to thank Mr. Chavez and thank everyone for being a wonderful audience and for coming in today. Please remember that we do record these sessions. So if you'd like to review or share anything from this presentation, those recorded sessions can definitely help. We did share the Tejano Passport link so that everyone may receive their points for coming in today. And before you all leave and before we end, I want to share our TBE sessions for next week. We'll be back next week with Happy Math Hour at 11 a.m., where Math 1332 will cover measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, and measures of relative position. And Math 2412 will cover the exam 4 review. Our 1 p.m. session next week will be from the Student Parent Resource Centers and the EPCC Student Parent Liaison. So if you are interested about hearing more about that center or just getting more information, as well as it was kind of mentioned in today's session, that would be a great session to attend as well. But for now, thank you all for coming in today. We hope everyone has a restful and safe weekend. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box or your mic. For now, we hope to see you all again for Tejano Virtual Events and have a lovely weekend.